Hey, y'all. Guess what?
Yes.
It is no longer Paz or Sonia's faves. We have listened, we have learned, we asked, we answered, and we are doing what, Sonia?
We are doing their favorites for the month of August. Yes. So this is the special favorites has turned into the Viewers' Choice Awards.
Right. I wish we had a sound, the hand clap. Oh, roars. That's what we're doing.
Exactly. Yes. So we are so excited to be airing your favorites for the month of August. We cannot wait. We're going to be in the chat. We'll be checking that out. And we really just want you to, tune in. This is the best of the best, y'all. And this is the ones that y'all say were the best of the best. You asked for it.
And guess what? We listen.
We listen. What? We some listening bitches. What? We ain't like them other bitches. Don't know how to listen.
Bitches don't know how to listen, but grown ass women know how to goddamn.
They know how to take feedback. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
So here you go.
Yes. Just a reminder. This is a replay, so the dates do not apply, and we will be in the chat.
Yes, we will. Talking shit as usual. Love
so
y'all.
Get your popcorn and your drink.
Hey.
Hey. Hello.
Yes, it's that time again. What?
Yes.
Yes.
Women shit. What?
Yes, say it with your breath.
Say it with your breath. Y'all snatched your bras off yet?
Oh, my bra been off, girl. I don't know what that.
I come to the living room hanging.
Right. Hanging and slaying. I don't know where that bra at.
Right. So, welcome everyone to Grown Ass Women Shit No Bra Wednesday. We have a special show.
You know what?
We are talking to our house certified sexologist all about that Yoni love, Sister Meow, how to take care of Sister Meow. So, right, her favorite topic, Yoni. So
that and orgasms, honey.
Oh Lord, yes. But that will where the Yoni is, the orgasm will follow.
Yes, hello. when she happy, hello.
When she happy, she gonna purr, okay? She gonna purr, baby.
Yes, she knows how to purr.
Right. So I am Paz, the mommionaire, your girl. I'm sitting in the living room with my homegirls. We talking grown ass women shit. Today we ain't talking money, but we talking about abundance in Yoni love.
Pleasure, honey.
Yes, pleasure, honey. And I'm gonna pass it on to Melissa, the creative directress, aka the walking Wakandian.
That's your new name.
We'll change it. Well, nice to see you ladies tonight. This is going to be a hell of a show. I've known Miss Sexologist for a very long time. I know I'm going to get some new shit. I always do. This is your resident creative directress. My conversation tonight, I'm going to try to figure out all the creativity I can add to this Yoni. So, stay tuned. We'll give y'all some tips on that. So she teach me some new stuff. I'm slide on some creative stuff to y'all tonight.
Exactly. Gotta zhuzh it up.
Zhuzh it up. That's right. Zhuzh. I'm gonna hand the mic over to Sonia.
Yes. All right. So I am Sonia the Sensuous. Hello.
Sensuous.
What? Sensuous. Certified sexologist, all about that pleasure and making that girl sing. Hello, because she can sing. She can sing to you. Yes, right. Take it up a couple of octaves. Yes. But before we get off into our hot topic for today, we're going to talk. Let's see, just a couple of things. One, just a reminder that we meet every day at 7 p.m. now. New time alert, 7 p.m. for Get Your Shit Together Sunday but we talk about all the shit, all the things that a grown-ass woman needs to be on top of in her life. Hello, stuff that you really get to be taken care of and handling because you're a grown-ass woman. Hello. And then on Wednesdays, of course, it's No Bra Wednesday, where we say it with our breasts and we let them girls loose. You know, because something about them titties being loose that just really have you speak your mind. You know what I'm saying? So something about loose breasts and, you know, them words coming out and you really getting off your chest what you need to say. Say it with your breasts. And that is on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So join us in our next few topics. One, of course, we are talking about the Yoni today. That, you know, she's the most fabulous thing in the universe. And then magical, yes, I do. And then our next two topics. One, on Sunday, we will be talking about your shits. Does your shit own you? Or do you own your shit? Hello. You know, it's time to release some things because it is springtime for some spring cleaning and releasing some things. So we're going to be letting some things go. And then in addition, so that's on the coming Sunday, the 21st, and then on the 24th, Finding Oshun, which is another one of my favorites.
I think we're going to... Wait. You know, we know some Oshuns. We got to get them in the conversation.
It's going to be all about femininity, being vulnerable, tapping into your power. Because, you know, a lot of times we're not clear about what our power is. We think our power is masculine. I mean, you know,
that's some American shit got me all hard and everything. I want to be all hard and everything.
All hard. It's about softening up and really just allowing your vulnerability to move you and other things in your world. So we're going to be talking about that. And then just a reminder, our slumber party for the month of March will be this coming Sunday. You have got to join us. Yes, that's going to be like Yoni 2.0, where we're going to be part 2, where we're going to be talking about Yoni steaming and health, and that's going to be on Saturday the 20th. So come join us from 9 until 11. We're going to be up talking about the Yoni and steaming. And
bring your Yoni steamer out. Yes. It's okay. Even if you got a little pot.
Bring your herbs.
Bring your herbs.
Bring your Yoni.
Bring your Yoni.
Bring your baby. Yes. Yeah, so that's what we have coming up. So yeah, now about this Yoni, honey, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link in the chat. Just you know, as soon as we get this conversation started, just know that we welcome you to come and let's have a conversation about Sister Meow, because you know.
Join us in the living room, y'all.
Join us in the living room. Yeah, so let's see. All right, so Miriam says, be soft. Okay, pours wine. I know that's right. All about being soft.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Katisha.
Yes.
Miriam, Naklet.
Yes.
Hey, y'all. Come in the room. I know y'all got questions about Sister Yoni Meow.
Yeah, so first of all, I want to put it out there. If you have questions about the Yoni, and sex, you know, let's not we focusing on the Yoni, but if you have other questions, then we here for it. So we're gonna go in and get this thing. Pasto's been accusing me of holding back because I ain't saying nothing about sex yet.
Let me tell y'all, I said enough is enough.
Enough is enough. She like,
but you announcing you the certified sensuous sexologist, and we ain't talking about, you know, the Yoni and everything. So I pushed her ass off a cliff.
She did. She was like,
let's go. Let go.
Said, I put your name down. You're gonna be talking about the Yoni on Wednesday. Okay, bye.
That's that masculine shit. She didn't ask.
Y'all need a little testosterone.
Right. You know,
every now and then I gotta.
That's that Teddy.
Yeah, you know, right. You know she gotta come with it. All right, so I'm gonna drop something in the chat for the waiting room, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's see, where's my message? There it is. Okay, I just want to do that because Missy is in the she's in the waiting room, but we're gonna get started first. So I just want to talk about just let's get this conversation started about the Yoni. I think that there's a lot of space for us to move into taking a look at what our relationship is to our yonis. Because often the relationships are off. I mean, there we can be kind of what is it?
One dimensional.
Well, and also just kind of detached. Disconnected from the yoni. And that really has a lot to do with, it has a huge impact on a lot of stuff in our world, because this is really a huge part of the seat of your power. So when we're disconnected from the power of your pussy, and I'm gonna say pussy, so we're gonna
this ain't after dark yet.
Okay, I'm gonna say pussy one time. When you are disconnected from the power of your young, okay, that was 3. I'm done with the 3. Okay.
Look, we can rename when you're disconnected from the pop.
From the pop. Okay, when you're disconnected from it.
A bad word.
It's not.
That's the thing. But we've made it into a bad word, and that has a lot to do with our culture. Because not only is pussy a bad word, you're a bad word. Okay, that's why when we actually, if you take even a look at the fact that when you are insulting somebody, we use the word pussy. Because somehow that means that you're weak, that you are unworthy, that you are not valuable. However, the interesting thing is, it is one of the most sought after things on the planet.
Girl, you better preach.
Hello?
So where the church? Where the church?
Church man. All I got.
Took that whole word and just flipped it on its ass. What?
Right.
Go ahead, Sonya. I'm just the amen choir today. Go ahead.
Okay. So there is Dad just said the WAP is real. I know that's right. Yeah, and you're right, Miriam. Pussy is not a bad word, but we have allowed it to become such. But that's only because of the construct of our society, which is basically trying to disempower the feminine.
Yes.
It's about taking away your power. And so where we get to actually learn how to reclaim our power and take it back, because a lot of what we experience in this culture and a lot of places where we're like, okay, I had to fight for this, or all my life I had to fight, all of this fighting. All of this fighting and all this stuff that has to go on in terms of trying to gain ground, in terms of trying to prove that we're valuable, in terms of, not being paid what we're worth. A lot of that has to do with my own disconnection from myself, because the more that you stand in your power, it's almost like when you're clear, everything around you gets clear. Don't nobody fuck with you when you clear. You say $10,000 and they like, okay, yeah, because there's a level of clarity. But as women, we've often, so to me, femininity has nothing to do with being weak. But often we take a weakened position. I was even looking at this thing the other day where people were saying, when we type an email at the workplace, it's all, well, can you, and should I? And it's really soft. It's not direct. We often are taught that somehow we cannot come with the power, whereas you don't see one of your male counterparts emailing in that same way.
Mm-mm.
But
right.
The feminine pussy is not. She's not weak. She's actually, there's a lot of strength there if we learn to tap into it, but a lot of it is being disconnected. So let's talk about some of the ways that we are disconnected from our.
I got one.
Yes. Yes.
How many people would admit that they've never looked at her? I'm looking at the pussy in the mirror.
Yes, and I'm asking. Right, exactly.
Yes.
Right. So how often have you actually even looked at her? Like literally looked, and not just looked, and also had the opportunity to look in a way that is proud, in a way that is appreciative, in a way that is loving, in a way that is embracing, because we often, there's a lot of disdain for, she don't look right, she don't smell right, there's something wrong with her, and there's a lot of criticism, somehow thinking that wishing that the yoni and the vagina and all of that was something else. That somehow it's not enough, it is not the way that I want it to be. And so that's a little rejection of your feminine, of one of the main things that makes you a woman.
You know, there was most Black people have seen Color Purple. I believe. but in the book, there is actually a scene where Celie looks at her pussy and she admires the color. It's Suge who introduces her to the beauty of it.
The beauty.
They cut that out. That was a little too much for 1984, right?
That was too much. They couldn't handle that. Well, it's not even just too much. What is too much is because it's too empowering.
Exactly.
Right.
It's too much because it gives you too much of a sense that somehow you're okay. And we can't have you feeling like you're okay.
Miriam said, I be all up in shorty. We don't sense 2021. We sense videos.
Hey, Missy. Welcome to the conversation. What you say?
Missy. Kenyetta said monthly in a V mirror. What the hell is a V mirror?
In a V mirror. Yeah, what is a...
I need to look and make sure my girl good. I know that's right.
You need to look. And that's the thing, because we don't look. We don't know what she looks like. We don't know what it looks like when you're at different stages of your cycle. How do you know what does it look like when you're excited? How does she plump up? What does she look like? What does she look like at different times of the month when you are actually about to have your cycle? What does it look like when you're ovulating? So our bodies go through different changes, but often our lack of relationship to her has you not knowing what's going on. And sometimes we put more on the doctor in terms of them being able to tell you what's supposed to be happening with it versus yourself. It's like, but if you would just listen and form a relationship, there's an opportunity to learn all sorts of things. And then in a lot of ways, your pussy's not going to let you down because she's going to be like, don't talk to that nigga.
Right.
Told you. She don't told you.
She tell you? Because she's the first one to decide who's going to get it, right? We know. We check in with her and sometimes we'll say, calm down.
Right.
We're going to wait a little while. But if we let her run the show.
But sometimes she's also telling us stuff like, you know what, I don't know about this one. I remember one time I had this, I was actually having sex with with a guy that I was crazy about him. And not only could I not have an orgasm, she was like, no. Ooh. No orgasm. And then even I said, okay, that's okay. I got it. Let me just use my toy. And I tried to use the toy to get there. And she was like, no. It's like, I know I'm not feeling him, period. There was I could not even get that. I'm like, well, I don't understand. Is it broke? Like, she's not even responding to this bullet. I don't understand. But she was not. She was clear. And she was like, I'm not letting go. Because being able to have an orgasm has a lot to do with about letting go. And so some of the ability to let go and relax and actually release, you have to feel comfortable. That's why do you think 80% of women not having, 20% of women not having orgasms?
That's it?
You don't feel, No, it's about 20% like never having an orgasm.
Oh, never.
I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about occasion. I'm talking about never having orgasms.
Well, we won't even discuss the married women at all. I don't know how you're doing it.
Oh, right.
I don't understand that. That's forever, and you're not being satisfied. You're not connected to this enough to make sure that she's happy.
Because just to say from Color Purple, he just climbed on top of me and do his business.
Girl, and do his business.
I'm going to roll over and let Mr. do his business.
I wish I might. You better not.
You.
Missy, did you have something? We were just barely talking. Did you have something that you wanted to ask or anything that you wanted to add to this conversation? We talk about Sister Meow and keeping Sister Meow happy.
You're off mute.
I apologize. I just realized that. Well, I don't know exactly how the conversation started that y'all was talking about. So I'm waiting to see who else say something so I can add my 2 cents.
Okay, well, you can feel free. Just let us know if you have a question or if you have something to add. So what we were talking about is our relationship to our vaginas and how that is holding us back in other parts of our lives. Because if you really, for one, your body has a lot of wisdom. but your vagina has a ton of wisdom. But often we're not listening. We are often trying to shut our bodies up with alcohol, with drugs, with food, with all sorts of things. It's like, let me avoid what I'm really feeling, what I'm getting, what I'm experiencing, what's going on. But there's a huge amount of listening to your vagina, just talking to it, connecting and saying, asking, like, so should I sleep with it? Should I sleep with it? Now, she might get excited, but that doesn't mean necessarily that it's like, that it actually means that we need to move forward with this. Because if we would just listen, sometimes your intuition will tell you, yeah, this is not a good idea. But are we listening? And so Apostle, you talked about one of the ways we disconnect in terms of by not looking at her, by not actually even being willing. Yeah,
not acknowledging her,
not acknowledging that she exists.
Right.
Yeah. One of the other ways that we do is by I tell people that it's like divorcing your vagina, but you say she belonged to somebody else.
Well, the vagina is the one. Did you just your body is not connected to your lungs?
Say that again.
Your vagina isn't connected to the rest of your body like the rest of your other major organs are. Not connected to the lungs. It does get blood flow, but it's disconnected from so much stuff. It's like an island of 8,000 nerve endings.
I know that's right. That clitoris, yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. So what did you say, Pastel, about the divorce from saying that she's somebody else's? So now, just to give you an idea of what that
I need them to marinate like on that.
Yes.
Did y'all hear what Sonya just said? Because Lord have mercy, how many times have I been asked, whose is it?
Whose is it? And you like, it's yours.
You telling me I need to be saying mine?
This is my goddamn pussy. What you talking about? Mine. This is mine. No, and what I mean by that is it's not even just what we're saying in the moment. Because it's certainly nothing to boost somebody's ego and be like, it's all yours, baby. It's all yours. You can have all of it. No, it's the mindset that somehow that I don't get pleasure unless I'm in having sex with somebody else. Because some of us have challenges with even touching her, experiencing any type of pleasure. Actually masturbating, having self-love, experiencing, and then also the whole idea that you are doing, sometimes we even feel guilty, like you're doing something wrong by having sex with yourself, especially when you're in a partnership. Like somehow you should do that because every time you want to have sex, it should be with your partner.
Don't some people think it's a sin?
Yeah, and there's a belief that it's a sin.
Our culture.
It is absolutely a sin. Yeah. Oh, here comes somebody else. Let's see. This is Kenyetta coming in.
Yes.
Yes. And then also divorcing. And just to give you a picture of what that kind of sounds like is I think she needs to connect her sound. So let's see, she's gonna try. Okay, she's doing it now. Okay, there you go. Hey, ma'am.
Hi. Hey.
So just to give you an illustration, imagine, so of course a man might tell you, if you ask him, whose penis is this? He might say it's yours, just to humor your ass, okay? He will humor you all day, but at the end of the day,
penis is, since y'all saying pussy, just say whose dick is
oh, whose dick, right, he not right, whose dick is this?
Come on, now, right.
I'm sorry, I am. That's a sexologist coming out. That's a sexologist. Whose vagina? I use all the proper terms whenever I'm teaching. So yes, I had to remember to get, let my hair down because it's said with your breasts.
You started with the pussy.
I did. Pussy, no, I didn't start with the pussy. The pussy started with the pussy. That flew out my mouth. I don't usually say pussy.
That's right.
That came out my mouth. Yeah, she was like, if you don't say pussy, I'm gonna smack you. I'm like, okay.
Oh, no, but what if it could jump up and smack you? I wonder how many times I'd have been
right. I'm like,
lots of times. So, but I was gonna say, just with respect to understanding the ownership, it's one thing to humor your partner and say this is yours, but still be in ownership that you know that this is yours. But often we really mean that shit when we say this is yours. It's like you almost like she doesn't have anything to do with you except for when he wants some of it. Now you can believe all day. He might say this yours, but he's clear this his penis, and he's gonna use it however he chooses to, and often does. So there's no lack of clarity from men around one, how they feel about their penises, and they're very proud of them. Now, on the other hand, we're like, oh, I don't know how it if it smells right. I don't know about how it tastes. I don't know. We now getting lips clipped off and doing all type of surgery to make it look different.
Oh God!
Like, oh, you haven't heard of that?
There's a vagina lift.
Oh, that's one of the major things that's happening right now.
A whole
people are paying. We are paying money to go get a vulva lift, so that you take the lips and because they are not always the same size, and they're different dimensions, and they don't always look like proportionate. So people are actually going, oh yeah, that's a big thing.
Have you heard the vaginal facial, the vaginal? You can
go
get a facial on your vagina, like they go in and give it a scrub and an exfoliation, all sorts of craziness.
Exfoliation hurts. I'm sorry. It hurts on your face.
You're not exfoliating my vulva.
Are you kidding me?
No. Look at my face.
No, but I'm gonna tell you when I made that face. When I found out that your vagina could fall out. It literally
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I have a coworker that did that. Yep.
I had so many questions.
Fell out. Your vagina can fall out, and we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about. Talk. So let's
make sure we get Kenyetta.
Yeah, I was about to say Kenyetta. Yeah, you have anything you'd like to add, man? What made you come on in the living room? She came in when we started getting spicy. You done came in on the spicy conversation.
It goes back to, I remember the first time I came in on Clubhouse, what you would tell your 20-year-old self. And I think this conversation is so important because I vividly remember calling my mom like, Ma, okay. And she was like, what? I was like, how do you have an orgasm? She said, what?
Wow.
Now I done had a baby and everything. I'm 22 years old. I'm like, I ain't lying. It's funny that y'all say he just get on top of me and do it. I'm like sitting there like, oh, okay, yep. And so she said, you done had a whole baby.
A whole baby.
You don't know? I was like, no what? She said, Jesus, I'm on the way. Now I'm in Maryland at the time. My mama was in Mississippi. My mama got on the flight the next day.
I know that's right. She better come through like a...
You can't be out here in the street not enjoying what God gave you, honey. We had a whole day conversation on the bed, legs open. Touch this. I was like, that's what this is.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So so when we have the conversation and we invite our mothers, I want your mama in. Is she
y'all gonna love her mother.
We want her on the line.
We are close. We talk about, when I say everything, this is who this person here is who I am from her. Like she made and I do my daughter the same way. Well, she's 12, but it's gradually.
When she's ready, right?
But just to be able to have those conversations, it was open. Like, because if I'm not giving it to her, my mom didn't give it to me, then again I would be out here in this world twiddling my thumbs like, are you done? Because I didn't know.
Which a lot of us
my mom is like, okay, let's go. You need a bullet. You need to know if this happens. Like my mom was burn. I'm like, okay, it's supposed to go where? I'm on the phone with my mom. Do I need to catch another flight? I think I got it. I mean, literally the whole
Mimi
education
was giving it up. I didn't know Mimi.
She loved that. I love that.
Mimi is she is the real deal. The real deal. So she was like, you cannot be out here not knowing. And so she said, okay, now for the purpose of faking an orgasm, let me show you and let me listen to my sound. So for a while, I'm like, I had to get into character. I had to get into character like I was going to do an academy. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I called my mom, was like, girl, I won. And he was just happy looking because I didn't know. You wasn't doing nothing, absolutely nothing. And I didn't know. So afterwards, I had to figure out what I needed for me. So I applied this conversation, and I wish younger girls who just don't know or don't care or just going back and forth with every whatever, blah, 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 just a whatever. They probably don't even know, like I was, ignorance toward what I'm supposed to be enjoying.
They had a whole, y'all heard a whole baby.
A whole baby.
A whole baby.
Girl. Some people have a whole bunch of babies and no pleasure.
Yeah.
So now I really applaud your mother, because not only did she acknowledge that it was important, but it was important enough to get on a flight the next day. So if we really understand treating ourselves as if we have that level of importance. Because we won't get on a flight over some other shit. You will get on a flight because somebody else needs you and you need to go down and nurse somebody back to health.
Yeah.
But you won't do that for yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
So that she showed that level of, this is how important this is.
Yep.
She'll be on next Wednesday. I'm gonna have to add her on next Wednesday.
Okay, all right.
You gotta add her on.
Yes.
Her mom is the mom. Her mother is the mom.
That's a grown ass. I love it. Right, I love it. See, right, and see, grown ass women put other grown ass women on. We don't get to be We don't get to be hiding the secrets and not telling you what time it really is and what you need to do. You know, and unfortunately, some of us did not necessarily get that introduction, but it also might mean that your mother didn't get that introduction, because some of us are still waiting for, you know, how do I get to learn to value myself? Because the value is going to start from within. If we're not valuing her, she ain't gonna be valued by nobody else.
Oh.
Yeah. Period. So the value gets to start here. So that is exciting. I'm so excited. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, your mother, Bring it to the what are we doing? The sleepover.
Yes, we're doing it on Sunday.
With the Yoni
on Saturday we're doing the Yoni theme.
See, I have to be there because I had my partner just bought me the all the stuff, and I was like, I'm scared. Now I am afraid because of what I've heard. Like I've talked to this one girl, and she was like, yeah, but I know this is going to be another conversation, and I'm ready for it because I have all the stuff for it, but I'm scared.
Yeah,
that's all right. We're gonna be
and you know what? And I think that actually can be almost like a revelation about what has us putting up with what we have going on in the first place. The fear of her power. It's like, you know, because you can say, oh yeah, they took my power and I just kind of, you know, went with it or whatever. But there's also a reason. There's it can't be taken from you if you're not willing, first of all, to give it. So then the question is, why am I giving away my power? And so I think that, like you just said, Kenyetta, a lot of it has to do with a fear of just how powerful we really are. It's like it's almost like being overwhelmed by really getting clear and pulling off the layers and really finding out what you're capable of. Like some of us really just want to keep that undercover because it's too much to handle.
Yep.
Yeah, but though we are uncovering it because we're going through a revolution. Things are changing. And we're shifting into the feminine being clear so that she is standing up and taking her rightful place. I wanted to get into really quickly the orgasm gap, because we were talking about, I said about how many women don't have any orgasms at all. But how many of you have heard of the orgasm gap, which is a study that said how many men have orgasms every time they have sex versus how many heterosexual women who have orgasms every time they have sex? Anybody want to guess what those two numbers are? If you don't already know the numbers. So if you know the numbers, don't cry. Tell us. You don't want to cry? Yeah.
I don't want to cry.
Anybody want to guess what those numbers are?
Anybody
when I say how many percentage of men do you want to say that you believe have an orgasm every time they have sex?
I would say about maybe 30 or 40%.
I would say about
men.
I would say 95%.
Ding, ding, ding. Kenyetta is correct. 95% of men have orgasm every time that they have sex. 95%. What's the percentage for women? For heterosexual women?
Lord.
38.
35.
Oh, well, see, okay, y'all are low on the low end. It's actually, so it's better than you think. It's actually 65, but that's still low. 65%. So 65%.
And that the disparity in the ability, just physically, we have more nerves than they do. 8,000 to what they're 2 or 3, and they got 95% of the orgasms. How, Sway? How? I need all my sisters to realize the numbers and, you know, make it a race if you have to. We should all be racing to the orgasm. That number needs to change.
Yeah. Well, one, yeah, and then also some of us not even necessarily a race to the orgasm as opposed to a being with the pleasure. So the other thing that we have that's missing for us is the ability to really just like experience the pleasure. We are on. Let me see. I think Tammy, you joining us, ma'am? Let me see. Tammy,
we can't see you.
Yeah, we can't see, and I think I hear the television. Somebody got the television on. Tammy, is that you with the TV? Who's got the TV on? Okay, so okay, so if you could mute for me, and then Yvette is coming in also. Yeah, so give me 1 second. I'm just gonna make that point. Yes, girl, because we talking about the power of the Yoni. Yes. So so what I was saying is some of it is also one of the biggest. What is the biggest sex organ? Let me see how many people actually. What is the big? There you go. Ding, 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 ding. Like it is our brain. It is our minds. And so actually for women, a lot of what's standing between, it is us really being able to connect during sex and connect to the pleasure and actually feel it. Because honestly, I've been in there, and like you just said, Kenyetta, just let him climb on to do his business. We can check out. Check out. Be thinking about how much laundry you have to do. Actually, I would say it's almost harder to try to check in than to check out. But it's just like I'm thinking about and then again, we think about our insecurities. How am I smelling? What is he thinking about this? Am I doing it right? It's taking too long for me to come. That right there is the anxiety that will have me just decide, okay, I can't do this, because it's like now I have all this pressure on myself to come, and the pressure is having me not come. So then it's like this this whole circle of actually trying to get there without actually doing what's required, which is relaxing.
Right.
Relaxing with some teddy pendergrass.
Getting out your head is really hard.
Massage, yes. Some actually setting the mood. All that sort of stuff is the things that we need to get into it. Getting turned on. It takes us longer to get turned on. It can take us longer. That's not everybody. It can. It's not everybody. So there's a book that I can't think of the title right now, but I will put it in the chat later. This woman that talks about us having sexual pedals and sexual breaks. And so I'm going to talk about that in a second. I want to hear from the two people that just joined us. So Tammy and Yvette, thank you for joining the room. And Tammy, did you have anything that you were wanting to say about what we're talking about so far? Any questions? And then Yvette will go with you.
I didn't have any questions, but I was just listening to you guys talk, and then I joined in on the Zoom. I was on the Facebook. And it's like a whole emotional event up here that I got to get ready for it. Like even in the middle of it, I'm like, okay, get yourself right and it'll happen. Because if not, I'll just be sitting there like,
right.
What are we doing right now? Like you are absolutely wasting my time. Like, and I hit the instant turnover. Like, all right, just go ahead and finish because I'm done.
Wow.
Because I haven't attached. I'm not in there with you. You're just there, and I'm the vessel, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I was like, let me get in this Zoom call because baby. Right.
Yes. Yeah, because we about to stop being because how long ago was that Color Purple representing Mr. just climbing on top, and we still doing that shit.
He just do his business.
That was how many years ago, and we still doing that.
Right.
Yes.
And that's still happening. So Tammy, I'm going to mute you for the TV, and then if you have anything else, you can unmute. Okay. All right. Thanks, ma'am. And then Yvette, what would you like? Thank you for joining us. And what did you have that you'd like to add to the conversation?
Well, I must say for me, I think I've had years of unfulfillment. prior to my marriage, prior to having my children. And so there was an amount of time that I spent celibate. And so I studied the Madonna War, the sacred feminine, the Tao of sex and things of that sort. So I decided in order for me to gather fulfillment, I had to make it be what I needed it to be. So what I call it, and what allows me to be present each and every time, what allows me to command fulfillment, I mentioned, speaking about faking an orgasm, I used to do that. We put ourselves in bondage and we leave ourselves unfulfilled. We make ourselves rot when we fake orgasms, because what we have to do is what we have to recognize is that we carry the whole power. So we have to command that whole moment, even to the point of teaching your lover how to make you feel, whether it's through positions, through what it is that you need him to do, through exploration and through toys. What I have decided, because sex is a part of what I need. It is a part of the fabric of my being. For me, it works in conjunction. I call it primal therapy. So each time it's something that there is going to be an end result. Now, granted, there will be an orgasm. It'll be small or it'll be big, but it will not be never. And that's a promise that I made to myself. And that's a command that I made to myself, because it takes the duty out of it, because I used to do duty. And once I learned
duty, that's it.
Command it, it just became something totally and completely different. It could be something big, it could be something amazing, it could be church, or it could just be a nugget, it could be a reliever. But I'm saying that's because of my chemistry. I'm gonna say in the nature of the work that I do, because what I do, I give up so much of myself. So it's almost to a point where I have a hunger. I have a great love, and it might be kind of warped, but there's a series called American Gods. Has it
yes. I know the series.
You empowered by the... Let me see the scene. I hope you talk about the scene. That's my favorite one. On American Gods.
You talking about the girl or the goddess?
The girl. When she was the queen, and every time she had sex with them, she absorbed their power and got powerful.
That's it. Her name is Bill Quist.
That's right.
Well, let us worship and adore. But what I love from that, because her thing is she decided who she wanted to be with. She decided what it was that she was going to feel. And of course, she decided to capture and divulge, to feed herself, to lift herself up higher. So I took notes from that, because it's like when you lay with the person, you don't ever want it to be for naught. You always want the end result to be that you're in a greater place, whatever it would be. And so I'm gonna say that's my approach from my learning. So for those who say, you just turn around, do business, there is a way that you can breathe your way into it. It took me a long time to learn communication. I was kind of rogue with it, it's like, because, hey, baby, will you take care? No, when we got to, when you, but it's like, well, no, well, I tell you what, come here. I'll lick your finger, lick my finger, touch me, caress me, massage my insides. I'm teaching him how to make me feel, whether it works for me or the next person. That's what I had to learn. I had to, it's like, okay, let me show you how I want you to suck up on my on my breast. Let me show you how to touch me. So that's what I learned. It was a long process, because what I had to learn was communication. How to say baby, sweetie, as opposed to being like, what, all the people you've been fucking, you can't do this. Right. To say it can happen, but I appreciate having learned that. Now, I'm not at the optimum level, but I am at the intermediate phase of that kind of communication, to making sure that I'm always satisfied to some degree, as opposed to it being duty.
Yes, love it. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes. And I think that one of the key things in what Yvette said is where I was talking about the whole divorcing from our bodies, because often we arrive in these situations like, you are responsible for pleasing me, but it's like the ownership is passed off. It's like somehow this is yours, and then we just kind of like in there almost as this passive thing, waiting and hoping that somehow it happens. But if you hear Yvette saying, it's like, I come in with a command. I am coming and saying, this is what will happen.
Stop being a passenger. Drive that bitch.
Hello.
Drive it.
And that's about stepping into the goddess and really being clear. Because so now if you think that, and I teach a lot to women about the egg in when she's in your uterus. If you think that she's being passive, you're completely off base, because even though she's sitting there, she is causing so much commotion with all of this sperm attempting to get to her. That is how powerful she is. She's not passive. She is drawing all things unto her. So it's like being aware. She's like sitting on her throne without having to do any work. But you're going to come to me, and then I'm going to be discriminating in terms of who actually gets through. But there's an opportunity for us to take on that posture. It's really about posture. It sounds like to me, Yvette, you got clear. Okay, this is what I want, and you took on a different posture. It's like, okay, no, my posture with respect to sex is going to be this. And often our posture is, I've actually been in workshops where I'm teaching women and having them say, oh yeah, my sex is awesome. My man is like this, or my man says this, or my man, it's like the whole experience is seen through his eyes. If he's enjoying sex with me, then that means the sex is good.
Right.
And it ain't got nothing to do with what I'm feeling. What'd you say, Melissa?
Good for him, but is it good to you?
For him, right. Exactly. Right. So there's the opportunity, and this is where we learn to take back my power, not just with, in every relationship that you're in. I went through a similar experience where I was in my early 20s had an orgasm before with a previous partner. So it was, I was having them, but I didn't know how to have them. So I had them, but I didn't know how it happened. It was just something that happened. It was like, great, he gave it to me. Good. And I was with somebody who was basically telling me that I was going to leave him if I didn't have an orgasm. So he was stressing me the fuck out about me having this orgasm. So I was like, you know what? We got to do something. So I went and got a book. And I read the book, and I just did what it said on the book. Like, okay, oh, that works. And I had a whole orgasm. I'm like, okay, boom, now I got this. But now I knew what I was doing. Now I know that I can make them happen. You have a whole different posture when you know what's happening versus when you think that you're just kind of clueless in a situation and it's just happening to you. And that's not just sex, that's life.
Right. So I think one thing for me is connecting to all of my senses, like really feeling like getting turned on by the touch of the body, the smell of the person, listening to the breath. What's the other senses? Tasting, all of that together, it can lead to, it's magical every time I do it. It's fire. It is fire when I connect to all of those senses. Right. It is fire. So just being, I guess that would just be being present. Being present.
It's feeding yourself everything that you need in that one meal.
Yeah.
Or that one good night's sleep. I don't go to bed without lavender on my pillow.
Yep. Right.
If it's one of those nights, then it's a good linen night on my pillow. Something about fresh linen. Don't judge me. I find it sexy that it smells fresh in the room. But I agree with the five senses thing. Do you eat, add food to your sensual moment, Pastel?
I have. Yeah, but I enjoy, not often, but just actually tapping into those senses. Like,
yeah.
The one that really does it for me is just the touch and the smell. The smells. It's let me
I have to say I'm a smell person.
Yeah.
And my husband knows, like, he knows like the beard gel to get or whatever, and he'll say like, babe, smell me. And it's babe, right, let's get it. Like, yeah, yes. I have to, the smell will get me every time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you think about it, it's almost like luxuriating or relishing in and allowing. So often we don't give ourselves permission to enjoy the moment because we get to be on and working. There's always some work that we have to do other than you giving yourself permission to enjoy.
That's how my mother explained it. Permission. You give yourself permission to enjoy every last moment. Don't just give it up. And if you don't want it, then you don't take it. Don't sit there and not enjoy yourself. If you're not doing it right, then you just stop. And I was like, just stop.
Right. Because you were just stopping something else. Right. Because you were just stopping with something else you weren't enjoying. Like, no. And that's what I would teach when I teach about faking an orgasm. That's like somebody giving you a full plate of food that you cannot stand, and you like, oh yeah, this tastes so good, girl. Oh my God! And guess what? They're gonna make that same shit for you next time. So I was clear. I'm like, I am not, because you're gonna actually learn that this works, and I do not want you to think this works. I want to make sure you don't think that. Right? No. Jen's Way said his voice can do that too. Girl, it ain't nothing like a growling man in your or growling voice that's just like, ooh. Yes. Don't get me all started. Yes. Get me started. But so what we started out talking about was just really starting to connect though to your body. Like, give yourself permission first to own her. She's yours. I'm like, it's saying that I cannot masturbate. It's like having this bountiful table full of everything that you could imagine that you enjoy, but you can't eat it unless somebody else is in the room with you. Are you serious? Mm-hmm. This is my body. Nobody else has to be here, and I can have the best time of my life. Like, why am I waiting when I can have this myself? What'd you say? Oh, you shook his high five. Yes.
Yvette, I have a question. When you were practicing celibacy, did you masturbate or no?
I'm gonna say no, I did not, because what made me become celibate is that I experienced masturbatory dysfunction, meaning I masturbated so much. We on Facebook Live, huh?
Yeah, we got.
Like it. Problem, because what happened was I masturbated so much that I experienced what was called a disappearing orgasm. I would get there, I would be at that height, and then it would be absolutely nothing. So it'd be like all of my cells were prepared to release, and it would be nothing because I was in masturbation overkill.
Holy shit, that happened to me.
Damn.
It's called a disappearing orgasm. And so I felt that I just needed to not do anything. I needed to press reset for my body. It's like I didn't want to deal with any toys. I didn't want to deal with my self-pleasuring with myself, any manual touching or anything. Is like I stopped. I went cold turkey because I wanted to reset. And then of course then I decided that then I had to learn what it was to have a lover. And to have a healthy relationship that was detached, because I wanted to be entered. I wanted my insides to be massaged. I wanted to feel everything. I needed my spine to be tapped.
Yes.
All over. I was celibate because I almost destroyed myself. So it was like nothing. And that's why I went cold turkey. Ordinary. Now I have been celibate, like void of partner, and of course, yes, I still pleasure myself. But from that experience, from having a disappearing orgasm, I just decided at that time that I didn't do anything, nothing.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Yeah. And look at the power in that. Your ability to heal yourself, and now you can get right back to it. That's how powerful that whole thing is. Mm-hmm. She just hit the reset button.
Yeah.
And get right back to it.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome. Yes. So let's see. So thou shalt tappeth the spine. I know that's right.
called chakra therapy.
Yes. So there's so much space for us to really reclaim our bodies, to really take them back and start to learn. You can give yourself a yoni massage. Go get some coconut oil. You can do coconut oil. It's better to do something like a massage, not a massage oil, you can do coconut oil, or you can do like a lubrication. But coconut oil, as long as it's on the outside, and you just like touch her in a way that's just giving energy to, giving love to, just kind of being with. Like, it's just gonna be me and you. It doesn't even have to be that we're about to have an orgasm. Just me starting to form a new relationship with my body, letting her know I appreciate you, I love you, I want to give you powerful healing energy, because she wants to heal you. We have so much energy that is sitting there. And so when we start talking about the power of yoni steaming and releasing some of the negative energy that it's collecting in that area, there's so much that can be that we have to release. And but we get to form a healing relationship with that part of ourselves. Mm-hmm. There's so much more. There is so much more.
Well, I was going to say there's a tool. It's called the chakra rub. And it's like rose quartz. You can use rose quartz or amethysts. And what you do is you clear the energy of it, and then you take it and you massage your insides. Not necessarily to use it as a vibrator, but right. You go in and then you put the energy into the tissue. It feeds the tissue, you know. So that's another vaginal rejuvenation kind of tool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. We were also talking, and I brought out my my yoni egg. We had started talking before we got on. So there's also the egg that you can use to support, again, having this in your vaginal area. We can talk about this more later, because I don't want to go into all of what's required, but it actually helps. One, doing your Kegels, because we were talking about jokingly.
We didn't have a Kegel break.
We did not have our Kegel break.
Wait, pause. Let's do everybody Kegel break. Everybody Kegel.
But strengthening.
No, we're serious.
Just feel her. Yes.
It's hard to feel while you're walking.
But tightening those muscles, because a lot of times doing that workout also will make a big difference with because sometimes that muscle is starting to get weak. We have age, we have gravity, we have use, all of that, and so being able to strengthen that muscle also helps to work out a lot of the energy that's trapped in that area. So there are a lot of different tools, and we can turn this into a series so we can talk about some of the things that we get to do to reconnect with your body and also to heal your yoni, because she's just waiting. She's waiting to give you the life that you desired, and it requires connection.
Yes. Are we going to end on that note, or are we going to?
Yes, let's see if we have, let's see, you have to be careful with putting stuff. Okay, let's see. All right, so Miriam says you have to be careful with putting stones and minerals in your pussy, though. Some stones are not meant to be in moisture. So you do need to be careful about whatever the crystal is. So check before you purchase, because some of them are porous, so you do want to be aware of what you are using. And let's see. And she says if you don't feel comfortable with yoni steams, you can do detox baths. Mm-hmm. Because some of us, sometimes, when's the last time you set her in some water? I mean, sometimes.
Right, y'all showering. Oh my God, baths are so healing.
Yes, they are so healing.
Take a bath. Sit in some warm water, some hot water. Just sit there and enjoy.
And leave the
phone.
Just
tell them, set your ass down.
Set your ass
down. And now unplug and leave the phone in the other room, because we're so plugged in now. That's even more of the reasons why we're disconnected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
water actually is one of the cleanest ways to masturbate. If you got a good shower head with different.
Oh, girl.
She go
hydrotherapy.
Yes, that is hydrotherapy. Yeah.
Hydrotherapy.
Let me tell you. Okay. So I have to tell you, I had the most amazing, I love sharing my orgasms, but I had the most amazing orgasm in the tub, right? I put a stool up under my butt so that I was raised off of the thing, and I laid back so I was floating, and then I took that shower head and I'm like floating. But so the water is like right here over my face. So I'm kind of in and out of the water, but my mouth is out of the water. And then when I finally came to orgasm, it was like it was this loud, I can hear it all through the water because my ears are under the water. So I'm just like, ah, it was just amazing. But I was floating in the water. I was just like, oh my God, this was so fucking good. So you gotta lose yourself. So yes, hydrotherapy, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'll even drop in the notes the best shower head.
Okay.
Exactly.
I know that's right.
Yeah, you need to let us. You gotta let us know.
I just sit there in the shower and just let it. I just sit there like.
I know that's right.
Yeah. I got a little pillow, water-filled pillow, and lay back, and I just sit there.
That's right.
Why in the shower so long? Get out.
Right. Don't worry about that.
Active soldiers in World War I.
Yeah, so thank you, ladies. This was a powerful conversation. Thank you for
letting me in the room.
Yes.
Oh yes. In the room.
Yes. So we are going. This month is going to be all about connecting to her and wait because she's waking up. The spring is, we're moving into spring. She's ready to get on and popping. She's trying to see who she gonna go in the stalk and wrestle down. So we have to go ahead and wake her up and reconnect. So we'll do some more and in terms of posts around that so that we can see, what's some exercises and things that we can be doing to actively reconnect to your vagina. First of all, go get this mirror. So y'all go get your mirrors. So that
and look at her.
That's the first thing first. If you're not looking at her, go take
She's pretty. She likes to smile.
Beautiful.
I just put in the chat one of the mirrors that I found.
Oh, okay. You put a mirror in there. Listen, Miriam says she loves sharing her orgasms. I know. I love talking about orgasms all day. Yeah.
And this conversation will be continued on Saturday. We are still talking about the Yoni at our what we calling it?
That's our slumber party.
Our slumber party. Thank you.
Our summer party for the month of March. Yes. So we're going to have a slumber party every month.
We have a Yoni steaming expert who will be with us. That is this Saturday from 9 to 11. Some of us will be sitting on the Yoni steamer I don't mind. Yeah. So please don't be shy. Some of us are going to have our pussies out. We have, this is the month of power.
Yes, this is power. So
bring let's do it. These conversations need to be had.
Yeah.
We grown ass.
I'm a grown ass.
We stop hiding this shit. I was embarrassed about pussy. Now I've said it about 50 times already. I'm free. pussy.
You set yourself free. So just
can y'all send me a link to the best Yoni steamer?
Oh, you know what? We'll put a post up of the places that you can get the ingredients. So we'll do that. Let's see. Right. So we'll put a Yoni steamer.
Well, I can give them really quickly. You can actually get a portable commode chair.
Because I'm looking at Amazon.
And you can. I found a hack. You can even use like a small crock pot as the pot because it actually keeps the heat herbs warm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just don't put it back in your kitchen.
You just use the little pot, then it loses its heat. But you can actually put a crock pot underneath your portable commode chair and use that and have your drape over it. So
what's this?
I know that.
What's
she
that?
Got a hot plate. She got a hot plate.
It's a Toastmaster.
She keeping it hot for real.
Yes. From the Dollar General. I haven't used it yet though. That's what I was just saying. Like I got to get some courage because I'm scared. I'm grown. I'm scared.
I was like,
come on Saturday. Bring.
You'll be doing it with friends.
Yeah,
and we'll be
doing it with friends. We all grown. There will not be any men in the room. I'm going to say that because this is for women. So we're going to be Yoni steaming. We're going to be releasing. There's going to be some real grown ass conversation. We talking about pussies for 2 hours. So come on, everybody.
Yeah.
And it will not be on Facebook Live.
No, we will not be live.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can have to come in the room and then we will not be live.
Yes.
And actually, so we're about to start doing some after dark events. It's not going to be live either. So just you know, because this was mild compared to where we get to go.
Oh, y'all don't know about that grown ass woman shit after dark.
After dark, baby.
That's what we talk about, the for real. Hello.
Right. The real stuff.
So just as a reminder, we're going to be meeting every Sunday at 7 p.m. That's a new time alert. We're now on at 7 so that we are, since the time has changed. So join us for get your shit together Sundays. We talk about all the places that we get to grow and handle our shit. And on Wednesdays, of course, with No Bra Wednesday, say it with your breasts at 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. So join us. Our next 2 topics that are coming up is one, do you own your shit or is your shit owning you? We're going to be talking about all the stuff that's in your house that might be running your life. Hello, letting go of your shit.
And we ain't just talking about shit in your house.
It's your shit.
Your whole shit, your life.
Friends.
Your whole life together.
Things.
There's shit.
Don't forget
that's attached to you.
Grown ass women get fits.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Let's drop some of this spring weight off and leave the COVID-19.
Well, you're just walking by yourself. Like, I wish I would have known it was a walk. I would have got on the bike and just had my...
Well, that's what we're going to do. So that's what we're doing.
Look for the post. It's Girls Get Fit 30 by 30 challenge.
Yeah.
You get twice. Okay. Today you would have gotten your name entered in the drawing twice for working out with us live while we talking.
Well, everybody on here gets two entries right now. So and then we have 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 days. Yeah,
30 minutes, 5 days.
That's the recommended amount of exercise, vigorous exercise that the American Heart Association recommends. So we want to be grown ass women for many, many years to come. Yes. So
healthy
get moving.
Healthy grown ass women.
Yeah. So come in a space where you can be supported, because I know I need it. So
yeah. And then so also on next Wednesday we'll be finding Oshun, talking about femininity and vulnerability, which is another seat of your power that we are terrified of. So we're going to talk about being vulnerable.
Yes.
And what that's all about. And then of course the slumber party is on Saturday on the 20th. And we'll post some of the products that you can use for it to actually get yourself together. You got Amazon Prime, get your stuff ordered so we can sit on these pots. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Yes. Yes. We love you.
Y'all.
Fresh out the oven, straight to the bank. Ben's Hager smelling like dank. Seats, somebody died on them. Kitty looking like somebody cried on it. Ooh, what you looking at? What you looking at? Body like cinnamon roll, icing on the top if